The poor Newcastle Knights. They've had a tough run this last 6 weeks after, coming through in the first 2 weeks as probably a team that is going to definitely be in the top 8. And a lot of people have changed their mind on this team, and now they're sitting in 16th position. So tough times for them. And, poor Jakey Clifford lost a bit of his confidence yesterday as well after having such a great start also. So, yeah, the Storm, you kick the ball out in the full on play one, then you're going to be in for a long afternoon, and that's what happened there. They end up with a little cheeky 50. Good on you, Paps, for just kicking the goal at the end just to drive it into the poor Knights fans. But Justin Olam, they let him through a couple of times pretty easy. He was pretty much stopped and got through one, and then a couple of turnstile tackles, and there he is for another 76. So just be aware of Olam. He did this last year, and the People Squad actually picked him up, and he went on a run of about averaging 25 when we picked him up as a keeper. So he's a bit like this, up and down. You see he's gained 116k, and that's because he fell away at the back end of last year. So be aware of that with Olam. We picked him up through the Origin period because he wasn't going to be playing, and just had a little bit of a quieter run from there. David Clements had two really big games in his last three. 270s. This one in big minutes for 64 minutes there. To get 5 offloads and 52 in base in a team that got pumped is really impressive. So he's been much better this year, and it's good to see. Munster with another 62, which was great. So he's averaging 61.1. So having a great time out there. 138 metres, the 1 try assist and the try as well. He was great and will continue to do so. Just a quick one, guys. I just don't think you should be picking up any Origin players from now. So heading into round 9, you're going to get round 9, 10, 11 and 12 out of them. And then they're going to be out for anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, depending on little niggles, injuries. Will they back up? These types of things. So just be aware of that if you're looking for guys like Munster and Grant. It's probably a little bit too late to pick them up, even for guys like Cleary potentially as well. So that's that. Nick Meaney had a great game. He's made a little bit of cash now at 45, with a couple of decent scores the last few weeks with them absolutely dominating. So him getting a couple of tries there on the wing has been great. Harry Grant did his thing in 62 minutes. He didn't have to be out there for that long to dominate this game. 61 run meters, a couple of try assists, 3 offloads. Yeah, just doing a little bit of everything, which was great. Paps did his thing as well. 7 goals, no try assists or tries in this one, but 3 offloads there, 4 tackle breaks, 119 metres and a line break. He was, did everything he needed to do. Coates, if you've held on to him, you're starting to make some money now. So with them dominating, he's obviously a beneficiary of that and getting 52. Just keep holding him from now on. Chrissy Randall was the good one. So we got 80 minutes out of him again. And when he does get the 80 minutes, he's almost a keeper level player, right? Like he's going to be a 650k type player that you can hold through this section of play, and it'll be interesting to what's going to happen with him going forward. They did have a couple of injuries and bits and pieces. They hooked Clifford, Croston played in that position for a little bit, a few things like that, which helped him out this week. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets that going forward. Brody Jones was great in his 76 minutes, so obviously missed 4 there, but that's okay. Got his 44 points, plenty of tackles. He's just so solid on that side of the ball. Doesn't miss many tackles at all, and did get a little bit of running there as well with a turnover tackle and also 1 offload. So that was happy game for Jonesy. If you own King, you're also happy with the 41 as well. Ponga there with 40, so a little bit of a better score, to be fair, for someone that got pumped, 50-2. And then we look a little bit lower. So Hughesy obviously had a try there, and the full 80 minutes and didn't get a great score. So he's a little bit up and down. He's lost 30k overall, but he's still a 51 average type player. So you just hold him. He's going to be really important over the Origin period as well. So just keep hold of him. Brandon Smith, we spoke about as potentially an option this week, but just back to that lower minutes and lower score, that PPM there. He's not running the ball that much, strangely enough. I think for Smithy to really score well, I think it's going to be mainly, unless he's getting an extra 30 minutes like he got last week, that back and forth game where he has to do a lot of work through the middle. At the moment, it's just like a couple of hit-ups through the middle, then send it left or right, and they're scoring on the edges very comfortably at the moment, so Smithy doesn't have to work as hard. There's going to be a time where he becomes really important, and it might not be now, but he's really cheap, and maybe it is over the Origin period there when he plays a couple of games at hooker or bigger minutes through the middle with a few of the guys out that he becomes really important. They got Felice Kafusi's going to be out as well as one of the forwards, for example, along with their halves, their spine, basically, all of it there. All right, so something we spoke about as being potentially someone to think about, but the Knights aren't playing good enough for that. Yeah, Paul Clifford and Clune, so 13 and 14 apiece. Unfortunately for Cliff and Clune, they both need to go if they're in your sides. Unfortunately, if you got Wishart, you're still not making any cash there. And Suaso Sue there had a head knock early on in the game and unfortunately missed the rest of that. So that was that first one. And we'll move on to the second one there. The Dragons v the Tigers, and a very low scoring game here, dominated by the two halves on the Tigers side, and really dominated by all Tigers players here, even though they lost the game. So 77 points for Brooksy, got a nice try at the end. So he played well enough without, he got the 3 forced dropouts. He did pretty much everything, just had the one error. And Hastings had a great game also. So Hastings definitely becomes a clear option. A 76 there is crazy in this type of game. Them running the ball for 326 meters combined is awesome. And I definitely think Hastings has more of the upside. He's obviously a little bit cheaper than Brooks. Their team's playing okay in general, and he's a big runner of the ball. He's going to kick plenty in general play, kick the goals, and he's solid in defense with 20 tackles for no misses. So I think he's a great option going forward. He's not going to play Origin or anything like that. So this coming week's probably the one to get him. He's averaging just under 50 now. And, with his last 3 scores way over the 50 average, if he keeps somewhere around that 50 average the next couple, he's going to be up over 700k really quickly, and could potentially have the ability to be a keeper in this league, given he's the focal point of this offense, along with Brooks there playing more of a running role. Still getting 200 kick meters, but they have their hands on the ball that much that they're very important. And they're not someone that's going to miss a lot of tackles. Well, Brooksy does a little bit, but they still make a bunch in there. Twali with another great score, so it's going to make sense for him. Plenty of work, 50 in base stats there for him. Same with James Tarmouse. Had a really, really good game there. 62 in his 53 minutes. And their middle forwards and edges had a really good game here. We got Leilua with a 58. So he was great also if you're holding him. Made a little bit of cash along with Nofaluma. So another 56 for him. And this included no attacking stats in terms of tries. So he just picked up 36 in tackle breaks and offloads to go along with his 170 meters. So he's playing a lot better at the moment. And we've missed a fair few of his price rises. So there's a small percentage that have him at 2%. I don't know if you can pick him up now at 557, but he's definitely someone on a few of our radars. Offengawe as well with 50, another one there, and 23k in rises. So just over the last 6 to 8 weeks, he's really beginning to dominate here. Benny Hunt with 46, so he picked up a line break and try, which was nice, but his missed tackles are just getting ridiculous. For someone that, when he plays Origin through the middle, he can make 30, 40 tackles and be really solid and great on the offense. When he plays in the 7 role, I feel like he just runs out of the line a lot. There's a lot of one-on-one tackles that he just seems to fall off from, and a lot of guys come in and help him. So then a lot of time it's not horrendous defense on his side. It's just that he comes out of the line and tries to make an impact that way. Whereas when he plays through the middle in the 9 position, he hangs around his forwards either side of him and tackles in there, and obviously doesn't fall off in that scenario. But the 9 missed tackles is an absolute killer, because he had 22 in negatives. You add that onto his 46, or even if you add 10 onto that, and he's a 56 type scorer on a regular basis to go along with his big kick meters and run meters. So 6 tackle breaks, the offload, there's plenty happening there. Just so much in negatives, which is unfortunate. Still puts him in the hold territory, but it's a little bit annoying at this point. Sully with 44 was great again, so he's made a fair bit of cash this year and was definitely a solid option from the start. Musgrove, probably a little bit too expensive to pick up, but that's one of his better games, obviously with 44, averaging 31. Maguire comes back down to earth with his 41. Mozambique with 40 was interesting. Tuolangi there with 74 minutes, did come off for the HIA earlier in the game, just before halftime, and played the rest of it. So that's why he was just less than 80 minutes. But again, still not really using him much on the offensive side of the ball, running the pellet there. 2 tackle breaks and 2 offloads is very much standard for him. And if he ran the ball if you get anywhere over 100 meters, we're going to get scores around that 50 mark. So he keeps making money, thankfully, for those that own him with that 34 gained. He's been doing a great job for anyone who owns him, and thankfully he actually played this week. All right, we're going down to the bottom now. Amone with 18 in his time on the Parks. He's super cheap auto as well. Mafainai, so 434k now, down 32, and 2 low scores in a row, unfortunately for him. That's all we really got to talk about in these 2. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are new, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. We've got a great community here, and join that Discord down below. You'll see on the banner. If not, let me know in the comments, and I'll give you a nice link to that. You should be able to copy and paste that one and join in the Discord group with all the fun, and you can weigh in on the People's Squad as well. So hope you enjoyed that, guys. We'll catch you in the next video.